Austin, really good to see you. We have an important message for everyone today. Stop using the S&P 500 as a benchmark. When we hear headlines about how the markets are doing, it's often how the S&P 500 is performing. And the S&P, of course, has been on a rally lately. Here's a look at it year to date. We see a lot of green on the board. So some of us then look at our portfolio and wonder why it's not up the same amount. My question is, why don't I invest in what's doing well right now?
Aaron, I wish it was that simple, right? We all want to invest in what's doing well right now. But the truth is, and the reality of all of our situations as investors is nobody can tell the future. And so we don't know what's going to be doing well next. And frankly, in many cases, we have what occurs is reversion to the mean. And that simply means what has been doing well tends to in the future not do so well. So I think not focusing so much on the present, but truly having that proper diversification as an investor is really what rewards us over the long term.
I'm glad you're mentioning diversification because, of course, we all logically understand that diversification is important to long term success. But market history has proven that a well diversified portfolio will almost certainly underperform broad markets and most individual asset classes in the short term. So when we look at things like, these huge tech stocks, Tesla, et cetera, on the big board making huge gains, what should we be keeping in mind?
Yeah, I think that is such a good point and valid point, Aaron, that, in the short term, it almost feels counterintuitive and downright wrong to be on board with this thing we call diversification because we're seeing all these gains and we feel like we're missing out, that we're getting punished for really doing the correct thing. But I think one of the easiest ways and proper ways to think about it is not only looking at the pure return, but what is the risk needed or what risk do we have to take on to capture those returns? And truthfully, to capture those returns, right, we would have had to have a portfolio concentrated in 10 stocks, have 100% of our capital allocated to stocks. And for many of us, that's just simply too risky an endeavor to take on. And that is why we're not capturing those returns.
Yeah, you put it that way and it makes sense. Next, I want to talk about one of your favorite subjects, behavioral finance. I'm a smart guy, Austin. Why do I make these irrational financial decisions?
One word, and that is emotions.
Yeah.
We are all emotional creatures as human beings, whether you're a seasoned veteran in the industry, whether you're 20 years old, 40 years old, or 80 years old, we all have emotions. And this is a good depiction, right? When things are going good, the markets are up, everybody feels good. That's typically when we want to allocate more capital, right? We're feeling much more risky. And when things are bad and the markets are down, right, we all want to hold on to our cash, sell out, and we're panicked. We don't want to lose another dollar. And really, we need to flip that mindset to as when we see that the markets are down or having a bad year, right, we want to continue to contribute into that 401k or that IRA or that brokerage account because we need to think of it as the market or those companies are on sale, right? We're buying the same amount of shares, but at cheaper dollars. And that will go and really reward us over the long term. So just be consistent, stay patient. And most of all, right, as we've all heard, it's not timing the market, but it's your time in the market. So that's a really, really important point.
It's so helpful to talk this through, Austin, because again, I know logically we all get this, but talking through the data behind it as opposed to relying on your emotions is so essential. If somebody has questions about anything they're hearing or if they're properly invested, what's the best way to reach you?
Yeah, you can give us a call at 919-322-4113 or send us an email at info@patriotwealthnc.com.
All right, Austin, thank you.
Thanks.